welcome to the Heavy Metal panel here at San Diego Comic-Con. I am so excited. I am your host, Lea Palmieri. I am one half of the Heavy Metal podcast host team as well. You can check out new episodes every other week, anywhere that you like to listen to your favorite podcasts. We are going to talk all things heavy metal today, and there is so much to discuss. So let's meet the brilliant minds that contribute to the magazine that we are going to be chatting with today. Let's start with CEO of Heavy Metal and also creator and writer of the Darkwing comic and, of course, the novel Beyond Piper, Matt Medney. Hi, Matt. How are you?
What's up, everyone? How you doing?
Doing great. Loving the hat, of course. So excited to
Thank
talk
you.
about that and so much more. Next, we are going to go to Mr. Dan Fogler. You know him. He's an actor, writer, creator, all-around talented guy. He has 3 trade books out right now through Simon & Schuster, Fishkill, Brooklyn Gladiator, and Moon Lake, and we're going to talk about all of those. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So great to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. We also have producer, director, writer, and also another all-around talented guy, as everyone is here today, George C. Romero. Hi, George. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to see you. And of course, we also have the Steve Orlando, who is the writer of the Starward series, which is the first young adult series for heavy metal, and I am a big fan of it, so we have much to discuss with him today. Hi, Steve.
Hey.
Yay. Welcome, everybody. This is so fun. Okay, Matt, I want to start with you because you are, the big cheese, as they say. And I want to get just a little bit of an overview from you as far as what the last year has been like for heavy metal. What has it been like? What has the experience been like for you? What's been new, interesting? What have been some of the challenges that you have overcome? What insight can you kind of give us about that?
Oh, I mean, when I took over when right before the pandemic started. So it was a pretty wild time, and working through it, and meeting George and Dan and Steve, and it was and then you even more recently. It was a crazy time, but what was cool was we were able to band together around the idea of storytelling and like how do we get through this unprecedented time through the love of art. And now that it looks like the pandemic's in the rearview mirror and everywhere is open now or more open. And this is, knock on wood, the last time we'll be doing this panel from our computers versus, in the halls of San Diego Comic-Con. I feel like it's, a bright future for everything going on.
Absolutely. I did want to ask you too, you have a lot going on, not just in heavy metal terms, but also with the comics that you have. How do you balance the writing aspect of, especially something like Darkwing, with also CEO duties? Do they influence each other? What is that process like for you?
I mean, I try to get up and write every morning before the workday really starts, and that's kind of how I balance the two. But they do always interweave, and I do try to figure out, how to work between story creation, ideation, writing, and working with creators like Steve and George and Dan on the properties that they're bringing to the table, and that heavy metal's publishing and working through. And the Fishkill graphic novel is one of the first graphic novels that we're putting out with our new partners at Simon & Schuster, and it came out amazing, and it was just so much fun to see. Yes, there we go. It's just so fun because when Dan and I met almost 2 years ago now, the idea of bringing this to the world in a in a more fun and engaging way was always the goal. And now I feel like that's finally come to fruition. And it's been a journey, and now it's the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go over to Dan because I do want to talk about, how does it feel? You're holding it in your hands. How does it feel to have
Mm,
these in trade form? And also, can you talk a little bit about what bonuses they have?
yes, I am a very proud papa with this book. To have it, to hold it, to
To
feel
model
it,
it. Yeah,
to
yeah,
model it for
yes.
you. Um, I mean, this is a very special book to me. Ben Temple-Smith, been a huge fan of his for a long time, and I feel like he really rose to the occasion here. And it's out on shelves, and it's Simon and Schuster, and it's very professional, and yeah, it makes me very happy. This is something that is new for me. It's because I usually do. Um, Moon Lake was my first book, and that's over the top. Big homage to Heavy Metal the movie and Twilight Zone and Tales from the Crypt, and then I have my my dystopian sci-fi book, which is Brooklyn Gladiator. That's Simon Beasley, which is another dream come true worker with a talented artist that I just grew up loving their work. And Fishkill is the prequel to Brooklyn Gladiator, and it's this is Moon Lake is, like I said, it's broad. A lot of it's broad humor, and Brooklyn Gladiator is dystopian cautionary tale. But Fishkill is it's more grounded for me. It's like a neo noir, and it's very I don't know. I'm very proud of it because it just seems very grounded, cinematic, like a good drama, and I'm delving into that world, and I'm really enjoying it. We're getting great reviews, so I'm very happy with that. Have you looked at it, Leah? Do you dig it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I did all of them. Yeah, I will say, there's stuff about Moon Lake that I really like a lot. That
Okay.
sometimes the wackier the better is what I say. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, some of the extras from Moon Lake. You get some new uh, art archives from the vault,
Ooh.
and they are early sketches of the man in the moon
Oh.
that have not been seen before. Early sketches of desensitized Deidre, some of the early designs that we had. The man in the moon looking a little bit more, Disney-fied. I love this picture of desensitized Deidre. That's Zarno. So you got a lot of really cool art. This is a really cool Ben Temple-Smith picture. And as the books come out, Moon Lake Volume 2 is coming out soon, and that's going to have even more new stories in it, and new material. And actually, George is going to add to Volume 2 and 3. Volume 3 comes out in October. That's where all of this is leading to. So Volume 3 of Moon Lake is all new material. And Brendan Columbus is actually adding a story to that one, which I'm really excited about, a new Werebear story. And George Romero is adding his talents as we have these cool, these like ads that we do. And he's doing George C. Romero's restaurants, and the C stands for cyborg, and we're giving George a chance to show off some of his cooking skills. He's an amazing chef. If you look
I'm
at his
all in on
Instagram,
this.
yeah, and so we're gonna have fun with his recipes in the book. I'm looking forward to that.
That's amazing.
And I can hear the ocean. Can you guys hear the ocean shushing?
I've already talked to our faceless producer, Mr. Mike, who said that he can fix that in post. So imagine
Oh,
it's not there because only we can hear
Excellent.
that now, which is the magic of cinema.
I guess.
Yes.
Dan, it seems like that was news to Matt about the food stuff going in.
Oh,
Which is fantastic because I'm all in on George's cooking. I get
Oh my
daily videos about how he slow roasts or smokes something, and it brings life to my day. You should honestly, George, start sending them to Steve as well, because Steve sends me some of the greatest food posters as well. He
Sweet.
he put me onto this perfect pan that allows you to make the best sunny side up egg. It's really fantastic.
All right.
And I use it
Matt,
for my breakfast sandwiches all the time now.
Matt, so the idea is to get a bunch of these recipes in the books and to actually make a George C. Romero cookbook.
Oh, I'm all in now. I will give you my I'll give you the recipe for my my date infused goat cheeseburgers.
Nice.
Nice.
That sounds delicious.
Awesome.
Before we get to George's cookbook, though, I do want to talk a little bit about The Rise, which is currently in heavy metal. We recently did a podcast episode where we talked about it. I mean, we just love the art in this. We just think it's incredible. George, tell me a little bit about what it's been like seeing it come to life. What has that experience been like for you?
It's been amazing. It's been surreal, and it's been humbling. When it first came out, the first issue sold out almost instantly, and then they did a second printing, I think, and that went really well, and it's just like the reviews on it. It's been very surreal, but it's been I think more humbling than anything. This is something I've been working on for so many years, and sort of like staving off all the wrong sort of packs of wolves until then Matt and I met, and then it just everything made sense, and it's been the most perfect home I could have ever dreamed for it in a lab, for the Rise, and it's been just a phenomenal ride. And I'm never as prepared as Dan, but I have some issues. They're just under glass in the other room, and I have to trade out a bag of sand to get them away. So.
I have one here.
Oh.
Do you?
Oh.
There it is. Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, no,
great.
the rise is amazing. Right?
Yeah,
Between the art, the legacy, the care of the characters, the subversion of expectations on what it is while still paying tribute to what the brand is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the things that stood out the most was that every single person on the team, everybody who has fingerprints on it, from Joe Illage to Diego to Matt to me to everybody involved in the process has had so much respect for what it's trying to respect as a story. It's been a real pleasure, I guess is probably the best way I could think to say it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. And Steve, let's talk a little bit about Starward, which I have a lot of questions about. But first, I guess I just want to know what inspired this, and also how was the process of taking what was, a young adult story about young women and giving it a heavy metal edge?
Well, it's in relation to what young adult and heavy metal is. The real answer is it's about thread of the needle. We knew we wanted to do a book that was one part Sailor Moon, one part 300, one part Wonder Woman, which was pertinent to my life because I had just come off Wonder Woman. I wrote the main Wonder Woman book a variety of times in the past 4 years when I was at DC. But I wanted to do a story that didn't have really any boundaries, and that's one of the reasons I thought about coming to heavy metal. With that in mind, obviously, you're still dealing with people in their late teens, early 20s, so it became how we could honor that idea of pushing boundaries that heavy metal's always been known for, going right back to when I would be staying up too late and catching odd parts of the 80s movie in the early 90s when I was 7 and feeling a little queasy because people's intestines were falling out on the B-52 and shit like that. But we're pushing into new genre, so it became more about their attitude. It became more about the personality, the way we talked about family, the way we talked about parents, and we let them be young adults. I mean, most of the lead character Stephanie's life is based on my own life, not just my background being Jewish, but working just an abysmal summer job, being a pool lifeguard, and just wanting any way out of that scenario. I did not get to turn into a magical girl. I just graduated college, but
would that have been ideal?
Yeah, well, sometimes when people give me, I wouldn't have minded the weaponry, but so Starward became about it's both a meditation on the sort of ideation you do, sitting there, spending months of your life in the summer, and sort of balancing the malaise of teaching kids swim lessons and having all these expectations from your parents with something fantastic. And also, with something that was fantastic in a way that I couldn't be working on with a character like Wonder Woman, who has lunch boxes and high tops and all these other responsibilities that are part of the deal. But after 4 years playing part of the deal, I wanted to set my own deal. And that's why I came to Matt.
I guess the real question is, have you ever set a bathing suit on fire?
It is Pride Month, so I try to do it every year. I have wanted to burn that lifeguard suit. I ended up actually just cutting it up into pieces as soon as I never had to work there anymore.
I think Lea just came up with our promotional item for the Starward graphic novel. Can we write Starward on a cement ground in bathing suits? And can you just light it and play dominoes so it burns Starward into the ground?
Yeah.
With phosphorus in it, and that just go up like a Roman candle.
I'm in. I think we should do that for all our titles. Imagine having a moon lake just this like burning, or the rise burning in the ground. That sounds very heavy metal of us.
We just want to light some stuff on fire, but being from Central New York,
I do own a flamethrower, as most of you know, so I'm in. I have the Elon Musk flamethrower, Fogler.
Oh my goodness. Well, there we go.
You got the Elon Musk one?
Yeah, it was a gift. We can play with that all day.
Oh boy.
Are you also going to name your kid some unspeakable equation as well in like 2 years?
I mean, maybe. No.
We can reenact the Once Upon a Time in America in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood scenes. That would be
a hell of a bar mitzvah with that.
Matt, speaking of that, I did want to talk about Darkwing a bit. Can you let us know how far along we are and what else we can expect going forward with that?
Yeah, everyone's on the back half of the story, so chapters 7 through 10 will be coming out before the end of the year, which will complete the first graphic novel, which we're really excited about. Ben and Pawn and Phoebe have to figure out who they can trust. It's not necessarily who you think they can trust, and they have to save the Darkwing while also saving all of their technology from a threat that might be from within. The whole idea of the Darkwing was a love letter to Gene Roddenberry and how to, take futuristic, utopian society, sprinkle a little dystopia into it, and show how people can interact and come together when the literal weight of the world is on their shoulders. We all, as, members of the society, have days where we feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. And for these characters, the literal world's weight is on their shoulders because their planet is their spaceship. And I think that creates a really interesting parable for people to read. And those stakes continue to get higher in these later chapters until we, come to the conclusion of the first installment, which should happen by November, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. Dan, I wanted to ask you too, because, Matt was talking about making sure that he had time in the morning to do his writing before, the rest of his job duties and all that come in. How do you balance, doing films and having all kinds of stuff going on as well as creating comics? Do you have a certain time that you, make for yourself to make sure that you dedicate just to that?
Wow. I'm Wow. I'm constantly creating, and so I have my voice, memo thing ready to rock, like whenever, constantly writing and tweaking and waking up at odd hours and adding to scripts that are mid process. And yeah, it's not a matter of finding time, it's just a matter of constantly doing it.
Have you ever sent an idea or a voice memo or anything to like somebody that you didn't mean to send it to, and then you had to be like, "Sorry, bro, that was just an idea I'm working on."
I've gotten some voice notes from Dan that are literal gold. And I have not forgotten any of your Tarna ideas, and we are just waiting for the right time to do them. I love Dan Fogler. Dude, Dan Fogler voice notes are the best part of my days.
Oh, what a sweet man. I love brainstorm sessions. I love, just, by myself. That's how I make my comic books a lot of the time, and how I memorize my lines, and how because I come from the actor's point of view, I play all the characters. So there's a lot of tapes out there with me playing a lot of different voices, and it could sound really weird to someone who doesn't know what's going on. But yeah, I sent Mads a bunch of stuff. I remember the original for the radio show. The crazy.
Oh, dude, your original Mosquito one take hit. Dude, that was awesome. Dude, I sent it to George, the original one. Dude, that first take was almost like show ready. That was ridiculous. Like, we're doing Wonderwork, which is one of our narrative podcasts, which we gotta get Steve involved into next season 3. But Dan and I are working on the episode, and I get a voice memo. He's like, I did a pass of it, and I listened. I was like, holy, this is amazing. And then I go, Dan, can I get the script? And he goes, there is no script. I riffed this. And I was like, what? I was like, how is that possible? It was like 9 minutes of like just pure like flow stream. It was there was no ums or how do I do this? It was just like he was this character, and I was just listening to him in this bunker trying to figure out what to do with these mosquitoes attacking him. It was wild.
I mean, look, I guess you're just the Jay-Z of heavy metal at this point, so
I'll take that.
I love it.
I'll take that.
George, I wanted to also ask you about Cold Dead War. I love that you work with veterans as well. How has that been? Have they, have you gotten any like really super helpful feedback or stories even or anything from them about that?
About the Cold Dead War, no, nothing other than just how much they all of the veterans in my life who have read it seem to really be enjoying it. So that's been pretty rewarding to me, I think, just from the standpoint of some of the stuff that's in there is, there's some guys out there that can identify things that came directly from conversations that I had with them, or, obviously just little call outs or just little things here and there. But, it's been a lot of fun. And I think that was one of the most fun projects I ever actually got to write was Cold Dead War. So, yeah. And then I actually got some voice memos from Fogler after that, because we were talking about doing some stuff that we were talking to Matt about trying to do with that, which we have to revisit because that was fun as hell. But yeah, it's been a tremendous experience. I loved writing Cold Dead War. And then I guess it was banned, I guess.
I was going to ask you about that too. What was
right?
Getting that news?
Matt, it was crazy. It was like Matt can probably talk more about it, but I remember being told that it was banned in Germany, and I was pretty.
It was banned in Germany. We got.
I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we even though there's blood and we're killing Nazis, you can't have swastikas on it. But we're authentic, and there are draped swastikas in the headquarters of the Nazis, and our characters were raiding the headquarters and killing everyone. So there had to be a draped swastikas that were getting the blood of the Nazis on them. And as a Jew, it was a very good scene to look at. And Germany said no, and I was like, I'm not removing them. And he's like, they're like, okay, then you can't sell it here. I was like, fine with me. They're not going.
Wow.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like probably one of the most anti-Nazi things ever.
That's the best part about it. It's so anti-Nazi, but they just don't like the swastikas on it. It's Monty, our main character, is using an old what are they called? The guns that have the swords on them?
Bayonets.
Thank you. It's Monty holding a bayonet and impaling the Nazi and holding him up. And it's this epic scene of this Nazi dead with the swastika thing behind him, and it just covered in his comrade's blood, and our team eradicating the Nazis from this place. It's like an amazing thing of like saving people and killing the Nazis, but that was the Germans didn't like it apparently, so it got banned over there.
Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty epic. And speaking of epic things as well, I want to make sure we have time to ask everybody what is coming up for them. But specifically, I wanted to ask Steve about something that I think everybody is super excited about, which is the Halloween heavy metal takeover you have coming up with the Boulay Brothers. What can we expect from that?
Well, we're going to hope to get banned as well, but just everywhere by the end of the issue. No,
Damn straight.
Yeah, it's. I'm super excited. Like the Boulay Brothers are the perfect. It's the perfect team up with heavy metal. In the world of drag, they are the subversives. They are the truth talkers, and their credo is drag, filth, horror, and glamour. All four of those things sum up things that we offer up in heavy metal every month. So for Halloween, it just seemed like the perfect fit to bring together a group of friends. They're my friends. Obviously, Matt is my friend. I don't think they knew about the flamethrower, but that would be another thing that they would be excited about. But look, this is going to be two icons of horror working with heavy metal with a lineup that is just out of this world, which I'm going to run down. It's probably been in the press release, but these are all, for the most part, people that I think are delivering their own unique flavor mixed with the Halloween style. Not just me and the Boulay Brothers writing together, but for fans of the drag world in general, we're going to have Katya Zamolodchikova. We're going to have Alaska 5000. We're going to have Evie Oddly, winner of season 11, I believe. And then we also have Excel Carolyn, who's directed for American Horror Story and The Conjuring. As well, we're going to have very nice, very evil, my friend Danhausen, one of the most popular rising Ring of Honor stars in pro wrestling, and Steve Fox, who is the co-creator of Razor Blades, an amazing horror anthology with James Tynion IV. It's a murderer's row, every pun intended, of talent for this book. Every story is different, every story is unique, and it's going to push the boundary of what we can do in heavy metal. I think every time I send a script in, I wonder what's going to come back as reactions go. But it's wild. It's one of the most exciting things I've ever been part of. And needless to say, an amazing cover as well by Dan Quintana.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, I was already excited for it, but that sounds awesome. So very cool. We will be sure to look out for that coming up soon. Okay, great. Matt, I want to start with you. Can you give a little bit of like a state of the union about heavy metal, things that are also coming up that you are excited for? I don't know. I heard the word Tarna might be in there. Can you give us a little, just a preview of what's to come?
Totally. In May, we announced our partnership with Range Media, which is, our initiative to really take our stories and characters from the page to the screen. And that's, in full effect right now, with more news hopefully coming in the next couple of months. But whether it's Tarna and her trade, which will be coming out soon, or Cold Dead War and its trade, or more Fogler books from the insane mind that is Dan, which I love, to the umpteenth power. That mind, yes, that one. Not the one outside the screen, though. Just the one inside the screen right now. I'm excited to get a new story from Steve Orlando. We have to work through which one that is. I don't know, Steve, if I emailed you, but I found the original 5 that you sent me. There's a couple in that I really like. So we'll talk about that too. So getting, what's next after Starward's really exciting for me. Same goes for George. The Rise and Cold Dread are going to be coming to an end pretty soon, at least these installments. And how do we keep, Lord of Darkness on the pages of heavy metal? So all of these things are really exciting, along with all the other stories. David Irwin, our chief creative overlord, and his Vassador and Crunch, which I absolutely love. Or, Adrian James, which will be launching a story that I wrote with Bruce Edwards, which is, is simply put, female Indiana Jones in space. It's a good old adventure treasure hunt story, which, I love a good treasure hunt story. And, and then, with, as this panel's happening, I believe this week, the extended edition of Beyond Kuiper, the Galactic Star Alliance, comes out with 70 new pages of art, a new chapter, and Simon & Schuster will be putting that out for us. So it's just an exciting time, from publishing to adaptations, and figuring out how to continually build heavy metal from a magazine content company to a multimedia playground, and that's just what keeps me so excited.
I love doing the podcast as well too, and it's just been awesome.
They are amazing.
Okay, yeah, we've had such a fun time with it, and it's been so great to see just the uniqueness and the different variety of the comics, and just the way that both Brendan and I approach it so differently. And so it's I'm excited for more of that to come as well too. So yeah. Yay. Okay, let's go to Dan. Can you give us a little bit of what you have coming up that we should all keep an eye out for?
Awesome. Okay, so the Dan Fogler 40 Experience podcast is coming over to the heavy metal lineup, which is very exciting. We got all the books, Moon Lake, Volume 1 and 2 will be out as we are speaking. And Fishkill and Volume 1 and Brooklyn Gladiator Volume 1. We're developing an animated show for Moon Lake, which is exciting. And we're in the middle of putting together a film for Brooklyn Gladiator, which is very exciting. And yeah, that's all the exciting news for heavy metal. And as far as acting goes, I'm going out to LA for a while to be in a TV show called The Offer, and I'm going to be playing Francis Ford Coppola, which should be. Did you know about that?
Yes, I wasn't sure if we were allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's out, and it came out on deadline, so it's. So I'm going to be. That's so. Is heavy metal? Are you guys out in LA? A lot of guys out there.
Oh, I'm out here. Let's party.
Let's hang out, man.
There you go.
That's the deal. That's my future next couple months.
That's excellent. Well, someone send me a voice note from when you hang out.
Okay.
George, what about you? What do you have coming up that you're excited about? Oh, you're muted. There.
Sorry.
All good.
There's the rest of the Rise coming out in the rest of the issues of heavy metal the rest of this year, which is a pretty big deal. And it wasn't too long ago that I actually turned in sort of the roadmap for all of those issues. So there's getting through those, and I'm just about to actually start shooting on a couple of features back to back here. So I'm pretty excited about those couple little action like horror things. So they're going to be a lot of fun. And the Veterans Compound is something that I'm working very hard to try to get off the ground. I'm trying to find some land and some farmland here in Kentucky and get that kind of going in a brick and mortar type thing, so that we can start helping more people than just what I can personally do.
Oh, that's excellent. That's so great to hear. Nobody mentioned the cookbook though, so we just don't have a date for that yet, or that's just still to come in the future, TBD.
It's being worked on currently. So the recipes have been chosen, the pictures have been they're still being edited, but
Yeah, we'll preview them in volume 2 and 3 of Moon Lake, and then we'll do a compilation.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah. So yeah.
Yay!
That sounds perfect to me.
Yeah.
Great. And Steve, anything else that you're looking forward to that you have coming up as well?
Well, look, first of all, I'm excited for you folks to see where Starward is going. I believe issue 3 is out July 21st, and then we're continuing bi-monthly after that. But Yvonne's work just gets better and better every issue. I'll fully admit, Matt doesn't know this, I was kind of on the fence because when he came up, because I'd never heard of him, and they said, trust me on this. And as soon as page 1 hit, I was like, my God. And now we're deep into the book, and it's just like it's like cosmic comics that he's coloring with a paint knife. It's gorgeous stuff. So I can't wait for you folks to see it, and I can't wait for you folks to see, as I said as well, this Halloween takeover. It has been such a great experience bringing together all these creatives, working with them to tell stories in comic form for the first time, and it's gonna be something I'm incredibly proud of. I hope Matt is incredibly proud of once we're out in October. And that said, for me in general, August next month is actually the launch of a project I never thought would happen. I'm going to make it quick because it's not a heavy metal thing. But you'll be seeing me for my first time ever working in the Transformers universe with a book called King Grimlock. And it's Grimlock the Barbarian, something I never thought I'd be able to get away with. But it's just going to be 5 issues of him with a giant energy broadsword cutting through monsters.
Oh my God! That's awesome.
I'm super excited about it. So
That's great.
That's so sick. You got a sidebar with Irwin. He ran Transformers at Hasbro for 5 years.
I do now.
Yeah, he'll love that. That's so rad. Is there any more non-heavy metal news that's going to hype us up?
Oh, well, God. Of course. What else is happening? A lot's happening in August. I'm also turning 36. They must know. But I'm launching...
You're only a day over 29.
You're sweet. I'm launching with my friend Steve Fox, who's also part of the Halloween Takeover. I'm launching Aftershock's young adult novel line, their first ever, with a book called Rainbow Bridge.
Shout out to my boy Lee Kramer.
Lee has been super supportive, and Rainbow Bridge is something unlike anything I've ever done. Like, it is really, heavy metal YA, there's still swearing, there's still a heavy dose of cynicism and subversion. This is true for all ages, for everyone with a real heart type of book. Basically asks, what if you could have one more adventure with your pet after you lose them? What if the Rainbow Bridge that everybody talks about when it comes to pet heaven was the Bifrost like in Thor? So the lead is about to enter high school, but something is up, and his pet that he's just lost doesn't quite have closure. So he gets sucked into this fantasy world to have one more adventure with his pet Rocket, who's a corgi. And I'm also super excited for that to come out too. It is like a Disney movie in 120 pages, and it's just going to be it's going to be gorgeous.
Wow, that's incredible! Awesome. Oh my gosh, so much to look forward to. I love this. Well, thank you guys so much for joining today. This has been so much fun. I'm excited for all of your projects. Obviously, we will be staying tuned to Heavy Metal, the magazine, Heavy Metal, the podcasts, all of that good stuff. And thanks so much. We will talk to you again soon. Everyone enjoy the rest of your San Diego Comic-Con experience.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.